Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hear what this intelligent lady has to say with her paranoia about Sharia law, and then I'll give you my thoughts on dealing with people that have this paranoia about Sharia law coming to America. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. It's a sure sign. I walk and steer very clear of somebody. I don't care what intelligent thing they say. I've had them mention Sharia law to me like they're worried about it, and I go running the other way. Yeah, we'll listen to what this brilliant lady has to say about Sharia law. Apparently it's come to London.
Disappointed Donald Trump isn't here?
I'm not surprised. He's a very busy man.
He knows what's best for him in the country, and I have full faith in Donald Trump.
Did you see Liz Truss?
Who?
Have you heard anything about Britain this weekend?
England's gone to Sharia law.
It hasn't.
You're being overrun by what they call Sharia law. And now what's happening is they slowly took over and they're taking over all your government.
We don't have Sharia law in London. We genuinely don't in Britain.
First of all, he knows what's best for the country. First of all, mistake number one is ever looking up to someone. Big mistake. Giving your power over to somebody. Big fucking mistake. There have been a handful of people throughout my life that I have, well, I don't know if you'd say look up to, but I've admired, but that's about as far as it goes. I don't look to anybody else to have any power that I don't. The moment that you look at somebody with that gleam in your eye, you've completely lost the plot already. Completely lost the plot in life. If you look at somebody with a gleam in your eye, unless it's your children, that's an exception. But short of that, you know, and even at that, you can't be blindly doing it. You know, it's one thing to admire somebody and think that, you know, hey man, they really know what they're doing. They're an example to look at, not look up to, but look at. Yeah, that's great. But once that gleam starts to come to your eye, that imaginary gleam when you look at somebody, you know, unless you're trying to get laid or something, I mean, you've lost the fucking plot 100%. And this guy, of all people, the reality TV show star, well, whatever, teach their own, but enough about him. You know, he's not really the problem. He's not the problem at all. He is just a manifestation of a very dark energy that exists on this planet as far as the hate, the separation goes, the us versus them kind of mentality. The Sharia law is coming to America. Yeah, well, ain't no motherfucker talking about it except these people paranoid about it. Right? And like all these, you know, first of all, the same people that are paranoid about it are all these people that have a big artillery full of weapons and shit. Oh, yeah. Like Sharia law would even, you know, I'm not a fan of fucking Sharia law. I think I don't like it. I mean, that goes without saying. For me to even have to say that is belittling. But, oh, yeah. Sharia law would take one look at America and fucking steer clear the other way. One, I mean, half the people know better, and the other half of the people are too stupid to conceive of what they're really trying to get at. So, yeah, it's just the most paranoid thought I've ever heard. Sharia law is coming to America. In fact, this was about 10 years ago. I was involved in a conversation with a lady. And, you know, she was pretty cosmically awakened on a few things. You know, she was getting there, at least anyway, I thought. And then she starts mentioning, she says to me, in the turn of a breath, she says, you know what the biggest problem, though, is? You know what the biggest issue is? And it had nothing to do with really what we were talking about. And she says, Sharia law. And I said, what? She said, yeah, Sharia law in America is the biggest issue that we have. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And then I went off on her, and I had to explain to her nice and politely, how in the fuck could that even happen? Really? I mean, come on. Yeah, giving over your power. But, I mean, this is such a ridiculous notion. You know, the whole collective would have to voluntarily give over their power in the Western nations to give into Sharia law. And if it ever came, here's the deal. If it ever came, guess what? It would be by the same people that are bitching and preaching against it. The same people that are paranoid about Sharia law. It's the people that they like to put in power, that they like, these big, strong, tough guys that they like to put in power. Those are the kind of motherfuckers that would institute a form of Sharia law, only they wouldn't call it that, right? I mean, it isn't as simple as a label. You know, after slavery to the African Americans and the genocide of Native Americans, the worst thing to ever hit the shores of America was white Christianity, organized religion. The worst thing to ever hit America after those two abominations I just mentioned.